Head of IT Application in Asia Pacific, Middle East and Africa at Sodexo. He has an experience of 19 years working predominantly for service, manufacturing, agriculture, crop protection and pharma customers. As an IT application head, he leads dynamic teams, solve business problems and transforming business into various sectors. Define IT strategies with new digital technology. Then in SAP, he has worn many hats as an lead manager, then SAP project lead, module lead, and programmer. And he has an head of IT application. So I would like to welcome our principal, ATPC sir, our TPO head, Dr. Anil Acharya sir, all faculty members. I would also like to welcome our today's students and panelists to our session. So proceeding further, I would like to first tell the flow of the program. So first of all, there will be session taken by sir for about 30 to 35 minutes. Following to that, there will be interview session taken by my colleagues Sakshi Jagtap and Samarthan Edke, which will last about 40 to 45 minutes. And following to that, there will be some questions asked by students, which will continue about 10 to 15 minutes. So students can put their question in chat box. Then there will be faculty interaction and we will having a vote of thanks and then we will wrap up our session. So moving further, I would like to request sir to carry over their session. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Payal. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Vishal, Shubham, and all of you. Thanks a lot. And I personally believe this is amazing. On Sunday morning, you guys, I see 25 participants are there and attending this session, right? I would imagine what was my time when I was in final year or first year, what I was doing, right? We were not thinking about all those things at all. But you guys are really amazing. The way you are preparing, even for the session, I could go and see that you have gone to my LinkedIn in detailed way, right? One of the questions which you have in for the interview, I see that you have digged the profile till last 3 years or 4 years when I was preparing kind of a videos for the people or students or the mid management, senior management people or professionals whom I was mentoring and training and coaching. That's really nice, and thanks again. I also thank Dr. Pise sir, Acharya sir, and Krumvat sir for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. So I appreciate. Always be happy to connect with college anytime. Been associated with college, and this is college time and life and learning will take you along in your professional life, not in professional and again personal life when you pass out from there. This would be your new world when you go out along with your family, your parents, your spouses in future. But again, this life will never end. It will continue till you take the last breath. Right now, back to the subject. I just want to know, I think I don't see all the faces here because the video is not on, and a few things which I will start with. My communication will be in English, uh, sometime Hindi, sometime Marathi, because this is how it is, mostly Hindi and English. This is preferred English language in corporate world also, not only the English one, if you are in India, right? Okay, and second, I see that most of you are not only from final year, I see there are first year students, as Payal just introduced me, she's from first year. They are first year students also. The subject which I will be taking is current IT trends, but I want to make it very simple. The flow would be like, what is those trends are, okay, and how those would be useful for you. It's not the architecture, how it is going to work, what are different technologies within those trends in detail we are associated, how the different kind of integration and touch points are linked to it, right? How the design is been done and developed and put it in the product or the services or the solution. I don't want to go in that level because then even 2 hours for one session, one topic would not be sufficient. It would be like too vast. And I don't think, to be very frank, for you at this moment, it is required. So that's what I will be doing it. Okay, so how many of you are really want to be successful in professional life? If you can just chat, I don't see the chat here, but if you can just say yes, or it's just type in yes, I think it would be helpful. Where can I see the chat? I think is there a chat box here? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
here
In
is.
the right
Yeah,
right section.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, maybe you can just reply there, yes, we want to be successful in your professional life, right? Good, good, good.
Really?
So, and now I see the people are responding, Tushar, Arpita, and everyone, right? Thank you. Second, to continue with that, do you think to be successful in your professional life, and as Acharya sir was saying, few of you are not from IT, there are different stream also, maybe mechanical, civil engine, electrical, and all those things. Do you really believe to be successful in today's world, in digital world, when the world is everything on mobile, everything on plastic money, everything is which is on a small device which is in your hand or the laptop? Do you think you should be knowing the technology thing? You should be knowing what is going around you, right? Do you think that? Just type in yes there if you think so, right? Whatever you may be want to be you want to have your startup, right? You want to be entrepreneur, you want to have some innovation, you want to be any kind of a technology, or you make any kind of a business into, whether it is agriculture industry, whether it is education industry, whether it is an entertainment industry, whether it is IT industry, anywhere you go, you want to be in UPSC, IPSC, or the civil services or admin services. Believe me, unless and until you know the technology, you understand it, you will not able to reach to your customers, your clients, and your consumers. Anywhere in your professional life, these three things are very, very important. Customer, clients, consumer, users, unless and until you reach them, you will not be successful. And when I take this topic today, I will take it from two perspective, right? First perspective, as I say, that there is an industry which serving the IT product, or it gives you the services for the IT. There is one industry which consumes those services and products. And how the trends and innovations are driven, the, the companies which consume those products or services, that's there is the demand for that, right? That's where the innovation or trends are being defined or arise. As we say, the what is that, need is an invention of mother, right? Kind of that. So you see how these trends are evolving. The current trend, the classic example which I can take is the current situation of pandemic corona. Do you know how, any one of us imagined 2 years back that we would be sitting at home and doing so many things doing from the home? Not at all. Like the way we are interacting, like the work from home concept or education from home concept, the way we order, the place the orders, everything is digitalized. So yeah, I will tell you. I think you can start the slides. Yeah, please. So those everything has been digitalized, and why it is? This is what the situation has created. And the situation like this, there was a situation during the demonetization, there was a situation during the GST, and those things really help us to drive those innovation, and innovation leads the trends. Try to understand the trends are not different, these are part of the innovation. And when I say the current trends, let me explain you something. That current trends, what is the meaning of the current, right? It is very important to know what is the meaning of current. All the products which we use, say for the perishable product, has a kind of a shelf life. Do you think the technology or the trends would also have the shelf life? Has it written somewhere that it has a shelf life? Nowhere it is written, but it is assumed that every technology will have a shelf life. Are you still using the 2G phones, any of us? No, we don't use it. It is still available somewhere, but are we? No, we don't. Are we using kind of old messaging system which we were using long back? I don't know how many of you are aware when writing the letter to your relatives for requesting them to come to home during the holidays, or if there is an emergency. That time I remember we used to send kind of a telegram. Or during our college days, I remember we used to stand in a queue, the STD, at after 11 late night, so that we could get 1/4 rate or 1/2 rate to connect to our family members, right? So are we doing that? No, messaging has been changed a lot. And that's what I'm seeing. It has a shelf life. Even if it is not mentioned on that, it is not kind of that, but it has a shelf life. And what is the trend? Because it is a current IT trends. What is trends? Trends are in dynamic nature. Those are changing a lot. As we speak, whatever was yesterday in digital world or technology world would have changed today. Whatever is today will not be in tomorrow. It will be past tomorrow. So things are changing so fast in this digital world. Every year, if you Google it, when I was preparing for this subject, I was just Googling for this subject, what I should say, what there are different, so many things as a trends, but what should I select and what should I tell to them, right? But Google it, you will find the IT trends for 2020, you will find IT trends for 2019, IT trends for 2021, and also in few months, you will find IT trends for 2022. Why is that? Every year, why there are new trends? Because those are in dynamics, because things are changing, the needs are changing, the demands are changing, and the business, the people, the user uh, are changing. Okay, and everything is linked now. Initially, it was not, but now it is. Everything is linked. Everything. There is no way that you can separate something and say, oh, this is a different thing than the IT, and this is a different thing. Nothing. It is integrated, it is connected, so connected you cannot change it. And that's why there is a demand of the trend. Okay, and if we don't change the trend, what happens? You know the classic example of Nokia, the collapse of Nokia's mobile business. Do you? I think you know that, right? Nokia at that time, in 2004 or 5, I don't uh, if I'm not wrong. I think when we started our job or profession, where we started earning, that was the mobile phone to carry with, right? There were no other phones. There were, but still Nokia was kind of a pioneer. That was kind of a leader. But what happened after 2007, when the major players came into picture, like iPhone, like Google, why did not Nokia get succeed? Why? It could not keep the pace with the competitors, and why it could not? Because it had an advantage of a pioneer, right? Because it did not adapt. Or, oh, although again, the people may argue that yes, the leadership and strategic decisions went wrong. There are some bad decisions people took, I agree. But again, there were some things which they did not understand the power of the technology which they should be using and going and meeting them, because the customers' demands were changing. The user wanted something different. And if you still continue with the old thing, you will not survive and you will become obsolete, like the Darwin's theory, right? You will not. So that's what I really want to give the message to all of us here. See, whenever you start your career, whether it is a profession, you start your business, anything, try to understand where the word is leading. What is the need of the business, the need of user, the need of end consumer who's using it. You cannot give him which he doesn't want. You cannot charge him for the, again, that is a word called gold plating in our case. Don't give him extra which he is not demanding, because this is not going to work at all. You give him something more which he doesn't want and you charge him. After some days or some months or year, he will stop it using your own product or services. So give what is required. So that way, I think this is what I really want to give the message. Some other examples, if I want to give you, which I gave you, the messaging system. Other best example as a disruptive technology and innovation. I know you have this topic coming in few weeks, but as I said, trends and innovations are interlinked. I must say, you know, the death of photography. I don't know how many of you are still using kind of cameras per camera, not the mobile camera, the cameras which we had, a roll or maybe digital, Canon, Fujitsu, Kodak. How many of? Hardly anyone, unless and until you are too professional. and something, but everyone of us using the mobile cameras, and we take the photo in mobile and that's all. Where is the cameras whole industry? When long back, Kodak in, I believe in 2001 or maybe early 2000, they may have 70,000 employees. Do you think still they will have 70,000 employees? Definitely not. It has changed a lot. So this is how the trends and digital trends, IT trends impact businesses. And when it is impacting businesses or customers demands it. When customer demands it, companies try to adopt it. When companies try to adopt it, then IT service companies like TCS, Accenture, Deloitte, Capgemini, everyone try to build their own competency of these things. And when they try to build those competency, it is you as a young people, you really want to learn those things. And maybe when you learn, you will get the knowledge. See, uh, here and there, I may go a little bit because this is very important. See, what we are doing today, maybe you would be doing currently also. This is the information gathering. You are reading, you are watching YouTube or Google or PDF or books or theory, right? It is information. When you implement that information in practical scenario, that becomes a knowledge. And how, that's what you want to be, use of information and convert it into the knowledge. And at this moment you cannot, 95% time we cannot, at this stage of ours during the college stage, we cannot implement all the knowledge, the information which we gathered in a practical scenario and convert it to knowledge. So don't worry, whatever we will learn today, that need not to be, you have to deep dive it and understand everything, but you should be just knowing where the things are. And during your interview process, definitely no one would use how the 5G works in a architecture way, explain how these are connected. No, no one will say, explain me artificial intelligence in a detailed way, can you create it and all those things. No, they will not. They will just try to understand the concept. Do you know how it is working? Do you know what are those different applications in current businesses, markets, and day-to-day use these technologies are into? That's all. I think that's pretty good, right? That's what we want to know and we not want to understand. Again, something which just now Acharya sir told me, where we are, there's some topics he asked me to be very frank to go through you, but I think I will take it those during the interview process or discussion process in detail. But let's start. Okay. uh, I think most of that I covered, that I've just made some point and I am reading it for myself, how the trends are defined, needs, situation, curiosity, and all those things. Okay. Whether the other part about the, do we really implement all these trends and technologies in the business and corporate worlds? Absolutely not. Yes, they are effective. And if we use wisely in all the businesses or corporate or situation business needs, yes, they would be effective. But again, um, when I'm into the industry right now, which is kind of a manufacturing or facility or service management, previous to that, I was into chemical industry, or you say the crop protection and pharma. How the industry demands is right. It goes, even they have a business need, that doesn't mean they will always go with advanced technological solution implementation. Why? Because the business has some budget, the finance. Business has some timeline. Business thinks that people will understand that technology and use of technology, part three. And how much is the usage of that in coming years, the scalability aspect of that business, right? Everything is considered and then they select the technology, what we should be using. Sometimes they may not use the technology which is in the market for the analytics. We have Power BI, we have Tableau, we have ClickSense. These are different analytical tools which are there in the market. They are really good. But business may use Excel. Why? Again, as I said, what is the cost to implement that technology? It is very important. What is the benefit I would get out of that technology when I implement it? That is called TCO, right? Or return on investment, ROI. So those are the things business checks. A classic story which I remember, I think Japanese management story. You must have read somewhere, to be very frank, I don't know, but at the cost of repetition, let me say, uh, there was this company and they were into soap production, our soap we use for the bath, right? And they found it. The company was really big in Japan, and this story, I think, this story you will find it in many of the MBA's business case study. And so this, what happened that they found that the empty boxes of the soaps are coming on assembly line, and which was really surprising that you cannot give the empty boxes to your customers or client or consumers, right? It makes your brand reputation a negative way, right? So they gave a lot of thought and they came up with some X-ray kind of a machine and RFID, and they started scanning whole the process before it comes to assembly line, and they identify the boxes which are empty. Fine, the solution found, everything will work well. They invested a lot of money in that. Similarly, in the similar business, there was another company in Japan which was doing similar kind of a thing in soap production. They had a similar problem. What they did, someone was a very I would say jugadu kind of a thing, right? We have our jugads in this. So what he did, he just bought an electrical fan, right? We have the fans, and put it next to the assembly line so that any box which is kind of an empty would blew it away and only the soap box would continue, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. All technology solutions are not unless and until you have the cost, budget, time, efforts, and right skills. Okay, and very important when we use it, maybe I think you can go to the next slide, Shubham. I think this is the slide which before we begin, I just wanted to say a thing again, and how we decide these things from the IT point of view. When you will become the some kind of a leader position tomorrow, uh, you want to lead some team, or even if when you start your professional career in IT, see, you need to understand IT never work in isolation. Never, ever. No, it works in tandem with business. In fact, it works according to the business strategies and needs. You will not have a separate IT strategies and needs other than business. Whatever business wants, you will convert those needs into the IT solutions to achieve those things in the easiest way. You cannot say, I will start my IT company and I will work for the business, but I don't care what business needs. No, definitely not. It will never work. You need to understand what is the requirement of business, what business wants, and for that you need to be understanding it very, very thoroughly, what exactly the whole process is about. Understand the business thoroughly and you will learn what exactly you are doing part of it. I will come to that point during our interview session, or question and answer session, which I found one of the questions is there. But yeah, I think that I will explain you detail. But understand, IT never work in isolation, never ever. It is always work with business strategies and business alignment, unless and until you are not achieving what you are doing. It is like that you want to see the sun rising, right? सूरज कहाँ पे उगता है? पूरब में, right? And if you start running toward the west, पश्चिम की तरफ भागोगे, you are running, but तुम्हें क्या सूरज दिखेगा? You will never find the सूरज, right? You will not find the sun. You need to work toward the right direction. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's start, I think. Shubham, next slide. Yeah, now we start to the topic. And Shubham, I think what we can do, right? I don't know, you must have the strict schedule. Let me know when we have to stop. And from there, 5 minutes before that, I will just go through the other, what I say, trends quickly. I don't want to miss. But again, I really want to emphasize on some questions or some things which Acharya sir had asked me to do. And I will also share on those. And if required, if you have time, and maybe we can connect in future again. But again, based on the availability from both of our side, right? Let's start. The first is, what is the first thing? Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Shubham. Any questions so far, guys? Are we clear, or it is like कुछ ऊपर से ही जा रहा है यार, ये बोलते ही जा रहा है, we don't understand what he is talking? If you are just type in yes or no, I think it will be helpful for me. Are we able to understand it? Is it making any sense? Please just type in there yes or no. Good, good, good. Good, thanks. Gaurav, Praveen, everyone, thank you a lot. Akshita, yeah, good, makes sense. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, a lot to say, a lot to share. I think we have limited time. Okay, let's start with the first one. Shubham, please. Just click it, enter. Yeah, the 5G. Okay, the first trend is a 5G, right? How many of you are using the 5G technology mobiles? Can you just type in yes there? Are any one of you using 5G? And good, thank you. Yeah, no one has typed yes because I would be surprised because it has not come to India so far. Then I would have gone and met this person personally. कि कहाँ से लिया यार तुमने मुझे भी दे दो. Okay. No, we don't have 5G in India. And you know what is 5G, right? 5G is a fifth generation wireless technology. And just to give you the difference between the current one, which we are using a 4G and 5G, right? 4G, the maximum internet speed of 4G, I could say, which is recorded, not in India, but say US or which are kind of advanced countries, 1 GB data per second, the speed, which we could say download speed, right? And what would be the speed of 5G? According to this survey, the Qualcomm and the Qualcomm is the pioneer company which is working on 5G technology. But the speed of 5G would be somewhere 20 GB per second, right? So what does that mean? I think you can download 20 movies in 1 second. Can you imagine? Uh, so that is kind of a speed what we have. And how this 5G will impact the whole business and industry, it will impact in a very, very different way, right? So now all the things which we are currently doing on this internet speed will increase and become faster ever before. Connected cars or different technologies which we would be looking after this, everything would go to the next level. The industrial IoTs, the education industry, the smart communities, and everything. When it comes on the 5G networks, you could see the impact, the outcome, the speed, the analytical solutional time, or maybe computing time, everything would be increased so much that everything would be in kind of a real time. There is no time lag, right? This is the very, very, very I would say a kind of a very important aspect of 5G going to be beneficial. And I think most of the developed countries in the world, they are using 5G. USA, South Korea, China, Canada, and there are AT&T, very, I think Verizon, yeah, AT&T, Verizon, and the Qualcomm. These are the companies in US. They are like a pioneers in this. They're working on it. But India, uh, if I'm not wrong, I think Reliance is working on it. Airtel is working on it, and VI, that is Vodafone Idea, they're working on it. Hopefully, we can see by next year, first quarter. I think we can see 5G in India by Reliance. But let's hope this is how it is going to be big, really big. And this is one of the technologies. And I will just, during this session, I will tell you where you can find some lessons or lectures on this if you really want to understand and learn it. Again, this will help you during your interview session. Definitely when companies would come, that you have learned by yourself. Any companies when come and they try to see what is your learning appetite, hunger, and I see the people who are joining today, I think most of 73 people, right? I could see that. So this will really help you during the interview, that you are learning. Self-learning is important. You are always keeping yourself updated, but doesn't mean you need to go in deep dive it. But yeah, there are, I think, different courses in Udemy and all those things where you just put some money and 200, 300 bucks and you will learn those things. Try to understand. Maybe YouTube would be the best one to start with. Don't pay anything. Understand what is 5G, what are the technologies, and understand it, and you will be able to learn those things. But 5G would be the first one. What would be the next one? Maybe just enter, yeah, extended reality. You must have heard augmented reality, you must have heard virtual reality, and I don't know whether you have heard about mixed reality, but the extended reality is an umbrella of all these three. And so I could say mathematical equation, the extended reality would equal to AR plus VR plus MR. MR stands for mixed reality, VR stands for virtual, and AR stands for augmented reality. And what is augmented reality? How many of you have played the Pokemon Go game? I think most of you. Yeah, Siddhesh, I will take these questions in our question and answer for sure. Maybe if you, someone, Shubham or someone just can take a note of the question, right? So we will just touch base with this. If I'm not able to answer in this session of 2 hours, definitely just send me email of those questions. I will respond to that for sure. Or if you want to have a separate session on question and answer any week and during this weekdays or weekend, I'm okay with that. Okay. Okay. Have you ever, any one of you have played the Pokemon Go game? Have you? If, most of them question would be yes, right? I think so. That is the augmented reality. This is the technology that lets people superimpose the digital content over a real world environment, right? This is the technology that is what we played in Pokemon Go. That's why the game was so famous. I never played that, to be very frank, but that's why the game was so famous. What is a virtual reality? It is a simulation. Uh, and simulation, what does it mean? It is kind of any entertainment, what we do, the video games, or maybe best example of the virtual reality would be the training industry. In my previous organization in Bayer, which is again uh, this is a chemical industry because it is a crop protection. It is nothing but the spray and herbicide, pesticide which we spray on all this crop. We manufacture those chemicals for the spray. So we have a big plant in Wapi, and which is very high advanced technological plant where we manufacture it. And being in hazardous industry as a chemical industry, the training is a kind of a challenge there, right? You cannot actually train the people in live scenario, because if something is there, what happens if the machine temperature rises above that? What is there is an explosion? What is there is a fire, right? You cannot put into that danger. But how you can train like a real time scenario would be giving them this kind of a training of virtual reality. The people would learn that, and that's where it is. And this is really helpful. I think in education also you will find this is booming a lot. And also virtual meetings, I don't know, uh, you guys are having in our college at this moment, but most of the corporate worlds are using the virtual meeting kind of conference room where they meet virtually, right? So that's where it is coming, the virtual reality. And mixed reality, uh, have you seen the smart lens or any videos, because it is not in market right now, the smart glasses of Microsoft, the project called HoloLens? Have you seen it? Anyone have heard it, have read it? That is kind of a smart lens, or you say smart glasses, which is coming up, and it is nothing but the mixed reality. Mixed reality is a VR, virtual reality combination, augmented reality, and is a different thing because it is a merging of real and virtual worlds to produce a new environment and visualization. This is kind of a mixed reality. And combination of all these things is called the extended reality. So if you want to learn the extended reality, learn first what is augmented reality. Learn first what is virtual reality, and definitely it would be easy for you to learn the mixed reality, and very simple to understand what is extended reality. The extended reality, that there are some companies who are working on it. I saw one of the business case somewhere, because then out, because of my situation in the position in my company, we always in a week or month at least 10 to 12 different vendors do come and visit us to showcase their capabilities. And one of the case, he showed us his capability, and I don't know, it was his or something, the Rolex watch. The Rolex company has come up with this kind of a thing, like you just wear the wrist, not the actual watch, and you just scroll over the mobile over that, you get a feel of the real watch, you wearing the real watch. And you can see all the details of that watch. You can get that feel. Or maybe a furniture um, giant, IKEA. Have you heard about IKEA? It is a big furniture giant company, right? Uh, so they are making people get a feel of it. How you can see your furniture within your house by using this extended reality. Or in real estate business, in current pandemic situation, you can actually visit the site or sample flat sitting at home at your own place and get a feel of it, how it would be, what is the different aspect of that sample flat, how the whole landscape of the project is. This is the use of extended reality, and this is really going to boom in coming days, and travel industry uh, definitely. Yeah, Magic Bricks, they are starting doing that. Yes, Akash, you're right. So that's where the applications are limitless. The more you put in into that thought process, the more you try to implement it, there is no limit. You can do it. Again, what are the challenges of these technologies? Is the cost, a huge one, a huge one. It is not that easy. Okay, next one. Again, guys, please type in your questions if you have. I don't know whether I'm smart. Speed is fast or something. Is this speed okay for you? Should I go a little bit slow? Am I speaking too loud or too fast? Okay, the speed is okay for you to understand. Please let me know.
Sir,
It's
it's
fine.
okay.
Perfect. Good. Thank you. Thanks. Drones. Nowadays we see drones a lot, right? Drones is like no common thing. There are different drones again. Industrial drones, we have education drones and everything. But how only the drones, what you know, that concept of drones, right? They have the camera, you can take the videos, that's all. But what drones can do, a magic, a magic. Drones can gather the whole information, again using the technology. Drones doesn't itself is a kind of a technology, but it drives the technology. And the reason why I put it here, because you will not find, in if you Google it in the technology trend, you will not find drones. But the real-time example which I really want to tell you from my previous organization of Fireware in crop science, because the current one we are working on very minimum level, but I will come to the smart city which I worked on that for few weeks on that project. Again, coming back to the drones gather the information. How drones are really helpful in the agriculture, right? And now try to understand, when I also told you, you need to understand any business first, the whole ecosystem first before you use any kind of a technology or application. In India, in agriculture industry, we are smallholder farmers. What does it mean? That means average farmer has not more than 5 acres of land. That's all, 5 acres, a small piece of land. Or maybe you can get 2 to 5 acres of land. In USA, the farmers normally average farm is more than 500, 200 to 500 acres. Okay, so when I tell you this is the technology we are in use, try to use in India, definitely we tried as a prototype, as a pilot, but again, farmers would not be using it because of the cost of it, right? So the example which I'm trying to give you, just please relate it to the farms of 100 acres spreading across 100, 500 acres farms, and it is owned by only one farmer, right? And how he can actually try to do it. Because you have that much farm, you need to do the map of the property properly, right? You need to understand the crop health. You cannot travel 100 acres or 200 acres in your tractor or your horse or your bike, anywhere in your car in there, and go and see each part of the farm, right? In terms of crop health. you want to do the spraying, the digital spray, which is called, then how you can do it? I think the drones are doing it exactly the way you want. Just put the coordinates, which area of this farm you want to spray based on the health of the crop, what kind of diseases you have for that area of the crop, maybe different pesticides or herbicides. Part of it required a different one, part of it may require a different one. And you want to monitor the livestock, like your different livestock, so which you have cows and buffaloes and everything, you need to monitor those. Drones can do that, right? You need to monitor or drive the irrigation systems, it can be done. And how it does it, right? It is very simple. It gathers the information again with the different technologies which we would be listening, artificial intelligence, then machine learning, analytics, predictive analytics, preventive analytics, everything. It works along with that. The data is the gold in today's day. Data is nothing but the oil, right? We know the data is very important. So all these technologies, all these things which we are seeing, the outcome of that, the correctness of that is only when we have the right amount of the data and the correct data. There is a good say in the project management, and then garbage goes in, garbage comes out. The wrong data you put in to do the analytics, the wrong results you would get it. So when I say anything which we would see here, I think we need to have the correct amount of data and a correct hygiene of the data should be very good, right? The word is hygiene. So how the drones gathers the data, they identify different properties of various plant species, areas of crop, and then based on the different machine learning or ML algo, you can try to find what kind of diseases they have and what would be the best spray by when. There should be a season to that, right? We cannot do all the spray all the time. When we should be doing it, what kind of you need to analyze what kind of weed species are there and what kind of diseases are there and how we can actually take the control of that. So everything can be done by the drones. Drones are being used not in agriculture. I just gave the example of agriculture because we had those prototype or pilot we ran in Hyderabad. Again, we did not get the government approval for that, but it took it some time. Yeah, go ahead, no problem. Artificial intelligence, everyone is aware of it. A lot of spoken, a lot of heard about it. For so many years it is there, but again it is still continuing. Believe me, if you want to really want to learn something, uh, whether you are in final year or first year, learn this technology, artificial intelligence. It will take you a long way in terms of your salary, in terms of learning and everything. There is another one which I will tell you in the last one, but this will really help you to be a differentiator, or you something very different you want to do it in the digital world. This one will help you to do that. Okay. What is artificial intelligence? We know human intelligence, which is a natural intelligence, which is displayed by humans. Then what is this? The artificial intelligence, if I have to say as a layman point of view, the intelligence demonstrated by the machines. And how the machine does it, we have to teach them. And how we teach them, we provide them the different data sets. We create a different algorithm models, and the more the machine consume it, predict it, more machine self-learning which happen. And based on that, what machine does, it creates the different predictive models or different type of a data, which is called annotated data or grouping of objects, is what is the outcome of it. This is what the machine learning does along with because machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. It is not a separate one, please understand. So you need to understand the artificial intelligence. You want to use it in detail, I think you need to also understand what this machine learning is, right? And few of the examples of the artificial intelligence, every one of us we know. I think we know how, are you watching Netflix or maybe Prime videos or anything, or YouTube? Most of us, right? It is, there is no one I think is someone is not aware about all these things. Wow, how they give you the prediction or recommendation when you watch one video or one kind of a movie, you get right. based on your previous thing, these are the recommendation from you. Where it comes from? How it works, right? There's some technology. It is not someone is sitting out there and based on, oh, someone has watched it, now I will recommend him these videos also. No, there is some kind of a technology. This is a classic example of that. The recommendation systems used by YouTube, Amazon, and Netflix. Then second is understanding a human speech. Alexa, Siri, right? Great example. Everyone, I think most of you must be using those. iPhone, Siri, it is a very classic thing. This is again a kind of artificial intelligence, application of artificial intelligence. Self-driving cars of Tesla. This is going to be the artificial intelligence. In fact, today I saw an ad, I don't have the paper here, but in Times, MG Hector has come up with some different model with AI enabled model. If you have the Times of India, today's Times of India, you just go it. If you have an ad in your area or wherever you are, you just see, I think they have this ad of AI driven, artificial intelligence driven car, a smart car, right? So the industries are using everything. Even a classic example, which we were working on something for this current company of Sodexo, because they are into food and facility management, and we were discussing something with one of the startups. Sodexo also serves to many schools and colleges in Singapore and APAC. And the canteen, we wanted to know in the refrigerator, there is a set of foods which have been kept for the school students, and which they have to pre-order. The parents has to order, give this list to the school that these foods should be served to my kid. And we wanted to see the inventory of it in the fridge, right? Refrigerator. And that startup came up with a solution that we have this kind of application which you put into the fridge along with IoT again, and everything is linked, right? The sensors. It will identify when the stock goes to a certain level, it will give a kind of a alarm or messaging or notification. In fact, it will trigger the purchase requisition or the order to the supplier to refill those kind of a stock, right? So that kind of a thing, there is no human intervention required in any of the industry right now. So everything is being controlled by this technology. The artificial intelligence is what it is going to do. Okay, and any other things which you know about the artificial intelligence? Any other applications which you know? If you can just type in here quickly. Anything which you are aware? Tesla, yes. Email verification, yes, can be, right? Uh, Email verification, but again, how you use it, right? Business case, you can use it. Again, please try to understand reason why I'm asking these questions to you, right? Do you really think that what would be email verification? Possible that we can use AI, but what would be the outcome? Like what kind of a verification you do want to really do? Is it a cyber security verification? Is a phishing attack? Is it kind of a threat to the company? Is that? Yes, possible. That is in a whole picture. We can use that AI for the cyber security or IT security or information security. But individual email verification, I doubt, because the cost and everything involved, it would be really difficult. Yeah. But having said, it is possible. It's not that it is denied. Okay, IoT, chatbot, yes. And again, good that someone, Arpita, right? You said chat box. Guys, just do few things by your own. When I think you must be using Facebook Messenger and something, right? Have you created any chatbot of your own, a Facebook page of chatbot page for yourself? You can do that. Just Google it, how to create it, and on YouTube you will find it. Just do that. I think you will be happy. Your own chatbot, like who you are and everything, right? That will help. So how you can learn these technologies need not to be very at advanced level, everything you have and then only I can learn. No, 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 no. You have so many platforms available for free. Explore that. And again, coming back to the interview point of view, when the companies comes and the interviewer asks you questions, they will be really happy that you are working on that or you have built your own. Believe me. So wherever you get opportunity, blockchain, you can create your own blockchain. Some there are platforms available. The topic is not in here, but again, you do that. A simple thing, a chatbot, please do so. And these are the things you can always do. Artificial intelligence or something kind of a drones, definitely it requires a lot of cost. Extended reality, you cannot buy the hardware, right? It requires a cost. But at least few things which you can use as a platform and build it, please do so. That will help you to learn a lot. What is IoT? Internet of Things. Mostly work on sensors, right? Along with the softwares and other technologies. What exactly the IoT contains? Those are the sensors or the mini computer processes controlled by data and those data would be analyzed by using machine learning. Simple language. So if I come back to the IoT smart farming, right? We have a smart farming or digital farming. What we had this project which we did in Raipur uh, in last organization, moisture, uh, soil moisture content. What is the moisture level of the soil? You need to dig it and put the sensors within the moisture at certain level. The sensors will emit the data would be captured and data will be analyzed and those things, right? These McDonald's and you say the big chips companies, the potato chips companies are big things. They do not buy the vegetables from anyone of anything like they don't simply like everyday morning go to the market and buy this vegetable. They have very stringent process of evaluating the farmers or companies who could provide them these vegetables, and they have so many different needs as a criteria to satisfy the pesticide level of the crop or and how much you are spraying to the crop, what is the moisture level of the soil, so many other things, right? What is this the dense humidity and all those things, so how you can measure those things, right? So you need to be at real time, you need to measure them, you want to control them, then definitely the IoT thing works along with the analytics, along with the machine learning and everything. But the sensors are very important in terms of when IoT technology thing comes into the pictures, right? So as I said, it senses the light, humidity, temperature, soil moisture, crop health, etc., uh, and also automate the irrigation systems, right? Okay. Any questions in terms of IoT? When I say about MG Hector's new model about AI, what do you think? They will have the AI simply like there is a AI software installed in it without any hardware? Definitely, they would have some kind of a sensors on machines, sensors on wheels, sensors on your engine oil level, sensors on the next topic. Can you just click IOB, Internet of Behavior, is very different. Sensors, facial recognition, how you are driving, what is your mood, how you are behaving, what are your emotions. Based on that, it can predict anything and where it is being used. And it is very simple. And now, see, understand, the technology is not in isolation. When you are in engineering, you can't say, oh, it is only technology I would learn. To build a technology, in this case in IOP, this is the psychology, human psychology being considered. It's very important. And how they consider your facial recognition. There was a article in Times of India a few weeks back, I think 2 weeks back, that I don't know, any one of you are from Mumbai or anytime you were in Mumbai or you are aware of Mumbai. The lifeline of Mumbai is a local, right? Central, Western, and Harbour local lines, where the millions and millions of people travel through that route every day. And now the police department or railway department, they are trying to put some kind of artificial intelligence, as again, I think it is not a full-fledged device to recognize the facial expressions, faces, and go back and check the crime record data and identify the crime or some kind of a criminals to prevent any kind of a threat, right? So this is very important. This is very important. Technology is not only limited to the data which comes from the sensors, but also from your human being. What you actually type in Facebook, what you watch on YouTube, what you see on Netflix, what you browse on Google, okay, what you click, what you do not click, what kind of a pictures you saw, what kind of a message you sent to your friend, everything been analyzed. Believe me, this is important. And I think you must have heard this line. If you are not paying for the product, then you are the product. Okay, so try to understand things are differently. So internet of behaviors, this is nothing but the extension of internet of things. Again, what it does, it gathers the data, your own data. It own data, how it gives very important information about behavior, your interest, your preferences, and it can also change your preferences. It can change the way you think, right? Very, very well. It can change your behavior and can change your influence. Uh, where it can be used, any guess? Any guess, guys? Where the internet of behaviors can be used? Okay, interrogation, right? Possible, right, Akash. So this can be used in the digital marketing for increasing your sales, right? Sometimes, you know, you clicked, have you experienced that? You clicked on some kind of a product, say MacBook, you wanted to buy a MacBook, okay? Apple MacBook, and you clicked on the try to explore it, and then you close that browser, that's all, on your mobile. And so happened that you are traveling, and we are just on the road in a car or any vehicle or walk, and there is a mall in which there is an Apple showroom, and suddenly that message pops up, and you are browsing something on mobile, but suddenly the MacBook message pops up to you. Why would that happen? It possible, right? It recognized what is the proximity. Again, as I said, it has your whole data. There is no privacy to be verified. Whole data has been captured. It identifies the location, geolocation, where you are, what history you had browsed, and it tells you, no, you browsed this kind of a thing 2 days back. You wanted to buy a MacBook. There is a showroom just walking away. Do you really want to go and visit that? It gives you that a recommendation engine. How it comes, right? It stores the data, and it is again the behavior, what you watched, what you have seen, what you have explored, what you have searched, everything been stored on this. Facebook, what do you think? The data is not stored? Everything. I recommend you to watch a documentary, and if you want to write it down, write it down. A great documentary on Netflix, The Great Hack. The Great Hack, HACK. Any one of you have watched this? If you have watched, just say yes. Yes, Social Dilemma also. I was about to tell that. Yeah, good. But The Great Hack, watch it. It is a great one. It is on the election which happened in US 5 years back. What exactly Cambridge Analytica is the company, how it did, how it changed, how it influenced the people to vote for a certain person, and what kind of a data they gathered for those people. Believe me, they gathered 5,000 data points on an individual. For example, if I have to know about Nishant Patil or maybe Siddesh, I will have 5,000 different data points about them. What they eat, when they sleep, what they watch, where they go, who are their friends, whom they visit, where they visit. These kind of 5,000 data points. And don't you think, if I know this person so well, more than his parents or their parents, I can influence him very well, right? I can give him the messages or send him the messages, send him the videos, a recommendation, what he want to see. And that's how it influence. See, once, how you can change a person's behavior. Hammer him with those thoughts again and again, again and again. That's what the strategy, the advertising industry does. Hammer with it, hammer with it. And you change it. Oh, really? Is it so? Is it so? Is it so? 10 times, 20 times, 30th time, you will change. You may change, you may think differently. This is the internet of behavior. This is how it is coming there, right? And second one, as someone said, I think social dilemma. Yes, you're right. Social dilemma. If you have not watched, I think on YouTube it is available, or maybe just take a subscription, free subscription of Netflix for a month and watch it. Don't watch Netflix. It is not good. I would say. I also tell my friends, few students who comes to me as to seek my help as a mentor or coach. You need to have nowadays, or there is no fasting, right? The fasting is a digital fasting. उपवास करायचा असेल तर डिजिटल उपवास करा. आठवड्यातला एक दिवस, no TV, no internet, no mobile, no laptop, nothing. Just keep that. Just read a book. At least not in week. Once in a month you start doing that. Do that. Netflix, you know what is the tagline, or what is this? Their CEO has a vision, or what he really wants, what he thinks. The Netflix CEO. Do you, any one of you know what he really thinks about it? About how he want to grow the business? What is his first enemy? The enemy number one for his business growth. Do you, any one of you know? Can you type in there? Sleep, right? He thinks to grow his business, his enemy number one is a sleep. Can you imagine? त्याचं म्हणणं आहे की तुम्ही झोपू नका, फक्त नेटफ्लिक्स बघा. Weird. Guys, don't watch. It will addict you. Watch some things and just get out of it. There is a good book on habits. I don't know. I have read it. If you have some habits to change, read that book. Habit. I will just send that message to someone. What is a habit? By how to change the habit. It is a whole pattern how we are. No, not Atomic Habits. There is a separate one. I've read it, but long back. Okay. Read the books. I think this is how it will help you. Cyber security. Last one. Can you just click on that? Yeah, last topic. Just enter.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
The RP, right? We have 5 minutes, or we are done.
But
Power of habits.
Yes,
Power
yes,
of habits.
5
Right.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yes,
5 minutes. Okay, perfect. RPA.
Yes.
Yes, I'm almost in time. RP, automation, very important. Anything under the sun you want to automate, a repetitive task, and this thing you will find it in your day-to-day life. When you go to professional career life or profession, you work in any company, whether in IT, manufacturing, everything, you will find so many processes which are a kind of a repetitive task, right? Doesn't add any value. You have an opportunity. How you can do that? What kind of value you will add into your profile? You could automate those processes. Classic example, mobile जब हम खरीदने जाते SIM card, when you go to buy SIM card or mobile, sometimes you fill the forms, right? Insurance, sometimes you fill the form. College application, different application, you fill the form. Can we automate that process? Can bot does that work? All this entry and forms or processing different forms at the same time. Healthcare में बहुत सारी processes which is kind of a repetitive thing. Can we automate those things by using robots, robotic arms? Can we the help desk, right? Changing the password or kind of queries, the chatbots and all those things. It is linked with the bot also, right? Can we do that in finance industry? Can we do that? So this is what you can do with RP. Automation is a big industry, believe me. With a bot, you can do a lot of things in there. And again, how you can do it, there's a different technology involved in it. But this is a biggest trend in automation, RPA, robotic processing automation. It will help to reduce the task, reduce the cost, increase the efficiency and all those things, right? Last, Cyber security. This is very common topic long back. But the more we are advancing, right, there are more threats to us, digital. And believe me, as I said, you must learn artificial intelligence, then you must also learn cyber security. There is a cyber security, there is a IT security, and there is also a data security. That's different thing. Okay. So this is cyber security. Why cyber securities are important? Because we need to secure as a corporate world, we need to secure our infrastructure. We need to secure our network. We need to secure our cloud. We need to secure our all IoTs which we would be using, sensors. We need to secure our applications which we would be using. And how we can do that? By using cyber security. Again, cyber security is a whole subject, a big one. But again, it can be done. Every technology which I explained, artificial intelligence, machine learning, you can link to it. IoTs, you can link to it, right? Automation, you can do the cybersecurity automation, no problem. But this topic is really booming, and you want to earn a great amount of money as a salary, I would say go for artificial intelligence, and second is the cybersecurity. बहुत पैसा मिलेगा boss, अच्छा करोगे तो. So, but why again cybersecurity? क्यों चाहिए यार? Means why I should put those much cost and everything on cybersecurity today? Cyber security, infra security, data security, IT security, information security, उसका अलग से एक division होता है. Who doesn't report to CIOs? They report to CEOs. They act as a police, IT police. आप जो भी करना चाहोगे, they will come and ask 1,000 questions to you to see कि boss ये ऐसे होगा, ये data कहाँ जाएगा, who will use the data, how the data encryption is happening, data at rest, data at transit, show me the encryption levels, what you are using, everything. That is their job. Have you any, I think few years back, I don't remember the movie, but because of that movie, the North Korean hackers hacked the Sony movies database. आपको पता है वो? No? Just read that story. This is so important. And what they did, उन्होंने जो भी प्रोडक्शन लाइन में जो भी मूवीज सोनी पिक्चर्स की चल रही थी वो सब रिलीज कर दी बिफोर गेटिंग रिलीज टू दी थिएटर्स. सभी स्टार्स के जो भी एक्टर्स है, हॉलीवुड एक्टर्स, डायरेक्टर्स, प्रोड्यूसर्स, उनके कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रिलीज कर दे पब्लिक डोमेन में. हाउ मच दे आर मेकिंग, all the confidential information. And believe me, very important thing in any of the industry, in corporate industry, is the personal information, financial information. These are the two things, because the legal laws are very stringent. If you, because of any of your technology breach, any of my own data, for my credit card data, my date of birth, my age, my gender, my Aadhaar card number, social security number, my PAN number, anything get released in public domain, people can sue you. आप पे case चलेगी and you have to pay a penalty as a corporate is so huge, you can go bankrupt. It's that important, right? So that's why the cyber security is very, very important. And you know some common attacks of cyber security, I think malware, phishing attacks, SQL injections, right? And also the spoofing attack. You can learn these things. There are so many courses available online where you can go and understand it. But guys, please, to start with, I think best would be artificial intelligence. I'm reiterating, and cyber security in RPA. Best just start. And if you have interest in psychology, again, believe आप engineering कर रहे हो doesn't mean this will continue. The more you learn something, you more exposed to the world. आपके interest change होते जाएंगे. You will learn so many things. जो भी आपका interest है, continue doing that. Okay. Good. Thank you guys. I'm done. Are we okay? Or you need more? Are we in time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What we'll do, we'll do an interview session in next 30 minutes. Will it be fine for you?
Perfect. Okay, sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The great way of storytelling, where everything audience are quite engaged. Yes.
एंगेज थे कि सोए थे? नहीं ना, होपफुली बोरिंग तो नहीं हुआ ना?
File continue.
Okay, good, no problem. Okay, yeah.
For sharing your recent technology, and thank you for making us current trends in IT.
Mm-hmm.
You have told us that how we can adopt the new technology according to the world's demand.
Right.
And you explain us 5G and extended reality, then how we can use the drones. And now it is important to learn the artificial intelligence. And really, it was amazing. And I would like to thank you, sir, for telling us about new technology.
आपको
And
पैसा कमाना है तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस सीखो, बहुत पैसा कमाओगे.
really,
Yeah.
really sad period.
Sure.
Now, really, thank you, sir, once again.
No problem. My pleasure.
Now we will move for the further session,
Sure.
that is interview session. My colleagues Sakshi Jagtap and Samarth Nitke will continue the interview session.
Perfect.
So over to you, Sakshi and Samarth.
So good morning, sir. Myself Samath Netke from first year electrical.
Good morning, Samath. Good morning.
I'm
Yeah.
Sakshi Jagtap from FY Mechanical.
Hi, Sakshi.
We will start for our interview session.
No
While
problem.
framing questions for interview session, the only source we have is your LinkedIn profile and some limited information about you. So it was really difficult task to get all your life experiences and thoughts in
Okay,
this
okay.
short session of
I tell you
45
where
minutes.
this come from. Sorry, Sakshi, to cutting you in between. I'm not more on Facebook. आपको Facebook पे मैं दिखूंगा ही नहीं, बहुत कम दिखूंगा, hardly. मैं 2-3 साल में कभी-कभी Facebook में जाता हूँ. Yeah, I'm on in LinkedIn very actively. I was doing that, as I say. I used to mentor and coach few people as a joinees. Because I'm also associated with some of the colleges here in Mumbai on their industry panels. और कुछ mid management crisis करके होता है senior management level पे, तो those people used to come to me, and it is not commercial. I just wanted to help them just when. So that I thought, so that way I'm active on LinkedIn, not on Facebook, not on Twitter, not on Instagram, not on WhatsApp, to be very frank, very late. But that's what I'm saying, digital fasting, right? Just this is how. But again, I'm not saying you should do that. For you, it is a different thing. Yeah.
By referring your LinkedIn profile, we have tried to do our best
Okay,
for the
thanks.
students.
Right.
Now we would like to start
Sure,
the
sure.
interview.
Please do so. Yeah.
So good morning. As Sakshi said that the only source we had was LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
it's not possible to gain all your brief in these 45 minutes, but we'll try to get best out of it.
Sure.
And the expected answers are like the knowledge you gain or you have must be more like heavy for students of our age. So the main intention would be like making the future ready, like you said, कि IoT सीख लो पैसा कमा लोगे. So how students should prepare
Not
themselves.
IoT, artificial intelligence. Shubham. Yeah, sorry.
So artificial intelligence लो पैसा कमा लोगे. So वैसे ही like what students should run behind and not in also in the career point of view, but as a human being. So we'll start with a simple question. A basic question. College is the place where we learn different things. We gain experiences, whether it be bad or good. Some stays with us for lifetime. So would you like to share some experiences and also a question continuing to it that what are the things you think students should learn from college itself? Because college is the place like where we gain much life experiences. So what are the things that you think how they have helped you personally?
Right, Samarth. Yeah. Yes. See, college, what you can learn from college, what I have learned from college, and what it gives you, right, in whole life. See, when you start your career, then the first thing, like whatever you have learned in that, you get the job based on that. The career grows, you will learn new things, and sometimes you say, अरे ये जो theory में था कहीं use नहीं हो रहा है. But again, try to understand. Your whole foundation is based on what you have learned in those 4 years. How you behave, because college, this will not help you just to understand the technology or the subjects. It doesn't make you the subject matter expert. Today's world, you find everything in Google. आपको सीखने की क्या जरूरत है? राइट? आप गूगल करो, दुनिया भर की हर चीजें आपको मिल जाएंगी, बट आपको वो कौन सी चीज है जो सीखनी पड़ेगी, समझनी पड़ेगी. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. One you learn in college is a technical thing, which a subject. Second thing, you need to know how good human being you should be, how you should be close to your at least few set of friends. Because believe me, when you grow, these are the friends will help you in all the situation, in your professional, in personal, and everything. Make good friends of in that. Okay, try to build some kind of a skills as a patience, as a listening, right? Or maybe you want to build a leadership skills you learned from the college. That's where. So try to understand, learn behavior changes, human changes along with the technology changes, just not the subject that only. अलग से आओगे ऑफिस में. हमारे टाइम पे कॉलेज में अलग बहुत सारे बच्चे थे जो हमारे दोस्त थे, आते थे, साइकिल लगाते थे, सीखते थे, वापस चले जाते. मैं यूज्ड टू सी. अनफॉर्चुनेटली, आई डोंट से आई शुड बी टेलिंग और नॉट, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम जो थे, हम 8 घंटों में से 7 घंटे तो कॉलेज कट्टा पे बैठते थे, लाइक दैट. जो नियर टू आबूज कंटेंट, राइट? जो है दॅट ट्री, आम्ही तिथेच असायचो 7 तास, येणारे जाणारे. बेस्ड ऑन सब्जेक्ट, कोणाचा सब्जेक्ट आहे त्याप्रमाणे जाऊन फक्त अटेंडन्स देऊन यायचो. पण आय सेड not that, but again, try to understand. College will teach you everything. What it taught me a kind of how to accept the failure, um, how to read a person, how to take no and learn from it and take it and go for more kind of a rigor to achieve what you want, right? Be humble, very important. Be polite. These are the things. Your skills, your knowledge will not have no value if you are not humble, you are not polite, you are not respectful for the people. Think, learn those things. Very important, very important. ये सब चीजें सीखो along with subject. Then क्या नया चल रहा है, what is happening in college, because college will tell you कि this is a platform, कुछ भी करो यार, वहां पे फेल होते तो nothing worry. Try to, if you have a fear of speaking, public speaking, right? कॉलेज का कोई ऐसा इवेंट होगा, अनफॉर्चुनेटली 1.5 साल में कुछ नहीं होगा, बट आई बिलीव ऑनलाइन भी होता होगा आपका. किल द फियर, टू किल द फियर, बी पार्ट ऑफ द फियर. ओके, आपको अगर वो फियर को किल करना है, फेस इट, पर्पजफुली गो एंड टू दैट. अगेन कैलकुलेटेड रिस्क. इट इज नॉट कि आपको हाइट से डर रखता है तो यू कैन गो ऑन 8th फ्लोर एंड जंप. नहीं नहीं, ऐसा नहीं. आई एम सेइंग कि calculated risk, do that, and you see that amazing, because these are the people, they will not laugh at you. Believe me, when you fear for what other would think about me, he would be thinking the same कि ये मेरे बारे में क्या सोच रहा होगा. तो forget about it. दोनों एक सेम सोचते हैं कि ये मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेगा अगर मैं ये करूंगा. सेम टाइम वो भी सोचता है कि ये मैं करूंगा तो ये क्या सोचेगा. Everyone is kind of a same thing. Do it. Explore everything you want to do in your career, in your profession, from the beginning of life. I would say, you want to fail it quick now by taking a risk. This is the right time. You cannot have opportunity to fail after age of 35. No, not at all. You want to fail it now, take a risk, do something which you don't want to do, or you not rather say no, you fear to do because of failure, what people would say. I would say, do it now, fail it quickly, learn it, do it. That's what I can say. Yeah.
The point you mentioned, that the college is the 4 years of this college are the real foundation of our career. College overall develops our personality.
Right.
That was a really remarkable point, and also we should face our failures to get overcome with that fear. That was the really good point and useful for the student. We should keep trying our best. Thank you very much, sir, for this uh, answer. So the next question is, as you pursued bachelor degree of electrical engineering, then why did you change your field to IT sector? And
Okay.
how did you manage, or how was your transition from electrical field to the IT field? And
Okay.
currently you are working in management field, so generally it is assumed that for working in management field MBA is necessary. Is the MBA really essential for it?
Okay. Okay. The last question I will answer last. I'll go with hierarchy. I will tell you a story maybe. I think good to. क्या होता है ना, I will say in Hindi. I think that you would relate. लोग एक बोट में एक नदी से जा रहे थे. Okay. And suddenly एक बच्चा बोट से गिर गया. गिरने के बाद सब लोग चिल्लाने लगे, अरे बचाओ बचाओ बचाओ, इस बच्चे को बचाओ. और किसी ने जंप किया एंड उस बंदे ने बच्चे को बचाया. वो लड़के ने, बड़ा सा लड़का था, उसने बचाया. एंड देन एवरीवन स्टार्टेड क्लैपिंग. जो वापस बोट पे आया कि बॉस यार क्या काम किया तूने, ग्रेट यार, हैट्स ऑफ. तो बोलता ये सब ठीक है यार, बट मुझे बताओ मुझे धक्का किसने दिया. ओके. तो सी हाउ इट हैपेंड विथ मी. मैंने कभी डिसाइड नहीं किया था व्हाट आई वांट टू बी, मुझे धक्का गया. व्हाट इज, आई वाज डूइंग इलेक्ट्रिकल, यस. And in 2001, when I was doing it, we started campus. And that time the campus was not, to be very frank, not that great in the way you have. 2000, 2001. It was good, not bad, but not great. So we had a TCS first company. टाटा मोटर्स थी, शायद उसमें मेरा फिट नहीं होगा क्योंकि फर्स्ट ईयर में फर्स्ट क्लास नहीं था, समवेयर आया डिस्टिंक्शन नहीं था. देन TCS came and you won't believe, being a vernacular medium, we could not speak. तब वहां पे 3 मिनट के लिए इंग्लिश बोलो. तो दैट वाज अ टास्क कि 3 मिनट के लिए इंग्लिश कैसे बोला जाए. और वो कोई भी सब्जेक्ट देते थे, ये 3 मिनट के लिए इंग्लिश बोलो. तो और उसके बाद एक फनी इंसिडेंट, मे बी दिस इज व्हाट फुलिश वी वेर, राइट, बिकॉज वी वेर नॉट हैविंग ग्रेट coach, leader, or this so much platform or kind of a people whom we used to interact. The question asked was me, what were the 3 best IT companies you think? Ask in TCS, right? I said TCS, TCS, and TCS. Oh, like filmy, right? Shahrukh. Rejected. Go home. So then it came TTL, Tata Technologies, and that's where I got selected. And because TCS did not have the psychometric, that was the CBT based computer based test, and they were a psychometric, but TTL I believe so they had. And I got selected in there, and then I understood from the first failure what it had to be practical. To be very frank, first lesson in any interview is be practical. Don't be smart. Very simple. आपको जो आता है बताओ आता है, अगर नहीं आता है बताओ नहीं आता है, बट मुझे शायद सर ये लगता है कि इसका आंसर ये हो सकता है, बट अगेन विथ माय लिमिटेड नॉलेज. अगर आता है, फुल्ली नहीं आता है, इफ यू डोंट फुल आंसर वॉट एवर यू नो, यू से दिस इज दिस मच आई नो, they will appreciate, no one will reject for you. Don't be over smart. I think Sundar Pichai's classic thing, which when he was interviewed for the Google, I don't know what was the question he was asked. And it was, he was interviewed for the VP of product, VP product. And they asked him the first question, and it was to be 1st of April or something, or 2nd of April. Did you see our Gmail? Right, long back I'm talking about. And then he said he did not see it. He said yes, and what did you feel? तो उसको नहीं पता, because he did not see, he just had heard. तो उसको अगर कुछ बताना होता, he would have said some kind of a story, building some story, and उनको बताया होता, which would be a wrong one, which we did not see that time. The whole new Google's what's the UI and UX kind of a thing, right? User interface, user experience kind of a thing, Gmails. And that is a big scope in this development, application development, UI and UX. So he said, I think it was kind of April Fool, so that's why I did not see. So they enjoyed that because it was the 1st April. So what I'm trying to say here. So this one. So I did not choose it. It chose me. Tata Technologies. I being to tech electrical and being to IT. And ये कहते हैं ना कि try to get what you like. आपको जो अच्छा लगता है उसको पाने की इच्छा रखो, या make a efforts toward it. Otherwise, like what you get. जो मिला है, be happy with that and progress with that. अगर हर बार आप क्रिप करते रहोगे या ब्लेम करते रहोगे, यार मेरे को तो वो चाहिए था, मुझे मिला ही नहीं, बट जो मिला है, if you don't appreciate, जो मिला है वो भी जाएगा, जो नहीं मिला है वो कभी नहीं मिलेगा. Don't do that. So that's what it is. So इलेक्ट्रिकल की बात है, ओवर द टाइम जैसे इलेक्ट्रिकल जो पढ़ा था वो भूल गए, आईटी में आया, आईटी में टाटा में हमें कुछ ट्रेनिंग दिया गया, And then I moved to SAP. We had been taught on SAP, what is SAP and programming the language. And the second question about the management, whether MBA should be important for the management. Yeah, it will really help you some skills. But if you started your careers and you are mid-career level, do you really want to break that and come back on this? You take a call. It is individual. But again, beginning of your career after the engineering, if you want to do the MBS, please do so. It will give you some kind of a guidance, a different perspective about it. Otherwise, during the job, there are so many executive MBAs we have today's world. It will help you. Otherwise, the more you learn, as I said, experience is the best guru, a teacher. What other things you do is a theory, data, the information, you implement it, it becomes knowledge. And how you gain the knowledge? Only with experience. That's how it is. Yeah.
As you said, we should go with the flow, and good things comes to us. They fall in place. That's it. So you greatly answered the question. So now the next question is, like in these 19 years, you have worked in various fields, like agriculture, you were in Bears, and then management. Before it, you were in Tata. So how did you manage to get comfortable with different fields or different environments? Because that's a skill that should be necessary.
See how IT works, when you will be in IT or any domain, if you are moving from one department or domain to other department, and specific for the IT industry, you don't have choice. Like you get a project, which we call it as a project when you are in consulting or service industry like TCS, Capgemini, Accenture, Autos, and all those things. They nominate you or allocate you or put you in kind of a project, which is the industry base. Nowadays it is like called verticals कि एक vertical होता है telecommunication, एक vertical होता है manufacturing, एक vertical होता है agriculture or something. तो आप उस vertical में काम करते हो या cross vertical भी होता है when there is. The first thing you want to understand, whatever your role may be, try to understand what this industry is about. Okay, ये industry करती क्या है? आप अगर future में you get a project being in IT, say for Tata Motors, for example, your client is a Tata Motor. So the Tata Motor is what? Automobile industry, right? What they are manufacturing? They are manufacturing cars, they are manufacturing commercial vehicles, passenger vehicles, everything, right? So try to understand उनका कोई भी इंडस्ट्री का स्टार्ट कहाँ से होता है, डिमांड से होता है, मे बी प्रोक्योरमेंट से होता है, एंड इट एंड विद द कंज्यूमर्स. द होल जो चेन है वो कैसे वर्क होती है, how it works, what are the different stages of this. Just try to understand. Need not to be expert in that. You can find it in so many platforms online. Just understand how automobile industry works. Then connect to the people, because you will be working with those people in the industry. You will not be working in silos. You will be working with clients or maybe customers. तो उनके पास जाओ, पूछो. They will tell you. Asking is the best way to get the answers. Never be shy and afraid of asking. Never say कि मैं पूछूंगा तो क्या होगा. Never ever. There is no silly question, as we started with. No silly question. Ask any damn question possible. So ask the questions. More questions you will learn, and that's how I learn. I am not expert. अभी मैंने start किया Tata Motors, then I moved WAPCO, which is again a switchgear company. I was in Germany for a few years, in Spain and Switzerland also. They're different companies. Then I came to mskip, which is Iceland. वहाँ पे मैं था कुछ. This is shipping company. Then I moved to Capgemini in Total, which is an oil company. Total Oil, you must have seen those logos in India nowadays. That time it was not. It's a French company, energy sector. Then I moved to Telecom, Bouygues Telecom. Then I moved to Chanel Perfume, the number 5 perfume. I worked with them in France. So that is a manufacturing again. Then I moved to Bayer, which is agrochemical company. Then I moved to Sodexo, which is a facility management service company. तो ये कैसे होता है? I cannot learn everything. It's impossible, but I try to understand the business. Try to understand what is you are part of it. First thing, you need to imagine yourself what you are doing. Understand the whole picture first, and then you will know what you are contributing to. That's how it helps, right? There is a small story to this. एक आदमी एक गांव से गुजरता है, and he find that the people are doing some car painting work. कुछ तोड़ रहे, मोड़ रहे, कुछ चल रहा है. तो एक पूछते हैं क्या कर रहा है यार, पता नहीं, मुझे वो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने बोला है, तो ये 4 दरवाजे तोड़ के उसको दे रहा हूँ. परफेक्ट. दूसरे को पूछता है, वही बोलता है. तीसरे को पूछता है जो वही सेम चीज कर रहा है, आफ्टर सम कुछ डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल करने के बाद, इसे सेम थिंग वही चल रहा है. पर क्या रहे हो यार, 2 लोग पीछे मैंने देखे कि कुछ सेम कर रहे हो, तुम भी कर रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो. एंड ही टेल्स कि मैं ना, यहाँ पे एक स्कूल बन रहा है, स्कूल के लिए बहुत सारे दरवाजे चाहिए, उस स्कूल के दरवाजे का काम मैं कर रहा हूँ. सी, एवरीवन इज डूइंग द सेम थिंग, बट ही अंडरस्टूड व्हाट ही इज पार्ट ऑफ इट. ही इज पार्ट ऑफ बिल्डिंग अ स्कूल. Others are just part of making something which contractor has asked. So try to understand the big picture where you are part of it and what you are actually contributing, right? Yeah, Samarth.
While doing any work, try to understand it clearly first. Clear your doubts by asking the questions. Are the key points you mentioned? That's are really good. So we move on to our next question. What is your experience or what difficulties did you face while interacting with new clients? Like everyone has a different mindset and levels or communication skills. So how crucial this skill becomes in such situations?
Right.
Especially while interacting with the clients from other countries.
Right, I agree. See, when we interact with our own clients, right? Good, very good questions. The very important thing, really forget about technology, forget about what business is. You are dealing with people. They are not machine. जब आप बात करते हो किसी से भी, जब आप ईमेल भी लिखते हो, तो जब प्रोफेशनली जब आप ईमेल लिखोगे तो इसको इतना आर्टिफिशियल मत बनाओ यार. मेक इट नेचुरल. हम जब बात, सी, इट इज अ वे ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन, राइट? सो सिमिलरली व्हेन वी इंटरेक्ट विद पीपल, with someone, for the client, any industry you go, not IT, any, whether you are, again, आप स्टार्टअप करोगे, बिजनेस करोगे, जो भी कुछ करोगे, आप लोगों से इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हो, मशीन से नहीं. Every person has an emotion. Understand that. Every has an emotion. And same time, whether it is your subordinate, your leader, your colleague, your peer, everyone. Second important thing, the culture. When we interact with the people outside the border, outside India, even in India also, Maharashtrian people interact with South Indian to North Indian, anyone. There is a culture associated with it. Understand that first. We do the things the way we want to do being an Indian. Perfectly okay. Be natural when I say, but same time, respect their culture. UK people, they don't want their privacy to get breached. That's what does it mean? हमारे यहाँ लोग आप मिलोगे, right? साक्षी मिली मुझे अगर कहीं पे फ्यूचर में, तो मैं पूछूंगा, हाउ आर यू साक्षी, आपके घर में कैसा है, कैसे पेरेंट्स, एवरीथिंग गुड, मैंने सुना था ये होने वाला है, ये हुआ वो. Oh, you will like it कि यार मेरा personally they are asking about me, very good. UK people don't like it. Boss, we are friend. Professionally, you ask me about what I am doing. Perfectly. Don't ask कि आपकी वाइफ क्या करती है, आपको कितने बच्चे हैं, आपका बड़ा बच्चा कौन का, अरे क्या लेना है यार तेरे को. He will not answer you. He will give you a look. UK does the same. US, they also don't like personal thing. Again, for them, personal is personal, professional is professional. They are very, very practical. US people are very, very practical. Believe me, you, again, when they give you something to do, and if you think you will be able to make it, then only say yes. For example, they tell you कि समर्थ एक प्रोग्राम लिखना है, this is the outcome which we are expecting, can you do it in 2 days? We are Indians, we never say no. कभी ना नहीं बोलते, right? We start with this, हो जाएगा यार, हो जाएगा, easy. दूसरे दिन शाम को बोलते कि सर मेरे 4 क्वेश्चंस है, मैं ये समझा नहीं. No. You say, you tell them, what is the answer? I will check your requirement first. I'm just giving some slight examples. I will check your requirement first. मैं analyze करूंगा. मैं फिर आपको 2 घंटे के बाद बताऊं, चलेगा? Or should I come back tomorrow and tell you, will that be okay for you? They will never say okay, perfectly okay. But उसमें US में कोई इंडियन बैठा होगा तो नहीं 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 यार समर्थ हमको अभी चाहिए यार, ये सिंपल 4 लाइन का प्रोग्राम है यार, हाउ कैन यू से इट टेक 2 days, you can do it. They will not, they won't like that kind of attitude also. Okay, so you all say I accept what you're saying, but I need time, and then you give the time what you think you should be, and tell them I will go through it, these are my questions, you answer, then I will come with how much time it would require, and commit that time. Don't come after 2 days कि मैंने when they come and say no tell me कहाँ है तुम्हारा प्रोग्राम, नहीं अभी बन रहा है बट वो अभी ना वो थोड़ा कोडिंग बाकी है, नहीं ना. सो क्लासिक थिंग ना, हम लोग क्या करते हैं राइट, हम यस बोलते, ऐसे बोलते यस यस विल डू, यस यस विल डू. वो बोलते ये यस है कि नो है, टेल मी इज इट यस और नो, इज इट यस और इज इट यस, राइट. तो बी वेरी क्लियर, don't make anything, be straightforward with us. Again, if you work with Koreans, they are like us, very very social. आपको बिल्कुल, ये लोग यूके यूएस वाले आपको घुमाएंगे नहीं, आपको कहीं बोलेंगे नहीं चलो normally घूमते करते and all those things. They will not talk all those things. They are very very limited. So be professional with them. Be Asians, you can be friendly and all. Very important. That's what I'm trying to understand. Understand the culture, likes and dislikes, and connect with them. And next level is the business talk. If you hurt them emotionally, you hurt them personally by unknowingly, not knowingly, the next thought would discussion toss पे चला जाएगा, होगा ही नहीं कुछ.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That was a great explanation. Like we were expecting, like whenever we are doing business deals, the communication skills or the negotiations will jump in. But you said that how the culture was.
Those things will jump in, but when they will jump in. As I said, the communication. See, I tell you funny thing. मेरा अंग्रेजी भी बहुत बढ़िया नहीं है. यूएस लोगों का अंग्रेजी इससे भी खराब है. Can you imagine? इससे भी खराब है यार. उनका ग्रामर की वाट लगी है, they don't know grammar. हम बोलते यार हम यहाँ बच्चों को हैज बीन हैव बीन सिखाते हैं, पास्ट टेंस फ्यूचर टेंस, अरे वहां पे कुछ भी जोड़ के बोला जाता है. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से नॉर्मल वे. So communication is a way of medium to communicate what you think. Most of the companies who are leading right now, they are French, German people. If you talk to them, very important other thing, if आपके अंग्रेजी फर्राटेदार होगी यार, फर्राटेदार, you are like a Harvard and Cambridge अंग्रेजी, don't show it to them. But yeah, I know, I think we can speak like this. उसको कुछ नहीं समझेगा, वो बोलेगा can you speak again, what is it? So you try to understand उनका टोन क्या है बात करने का. When I talk to UK, so not UK, French or German, mostly I interact with them. I speak the way, hello, can we say now, this is what you mean, am I right? So slow, let them digest. ज्यादा फास्टली बात करोगे ना, कुछ नहीं पता चलेगा कि क्या बोल रहे हो, सब ऊपर से जाएगा. then you'll say okay bye bye टाटा करके निकल जाएगा. So वो नहीं होता. So communication is a way to communicate your message to them. Very important. Not to show कि तुम्हें अंग्रेजी कितनी आती है, कि आपको अंग्रेजी में 10th में 100 out of 100 मिले थे. नहीं नहीं नहीं, वो घर पे. तो ये things, so just communicate. Second thing, negotiation. Yes, negotiation on topics. ये सब चीजें चलेगी इंडिया में. इंडिया में it works very differently when you go to the clients. Agree. You have to be very things. Again, nowadays it is a Hindi English mix, perfectly okay. कम्युनिकेशन यहाँ पे अलग लेवल पे होता है, नेगोशिएशन अलग लेवल पे होता है, डिस्कशन अलग लेवल पे होता है, कमिटमेंट अलग लेवल पे होती है. नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड विच कंट्री, विच जियो लोकेशन, हु आर द पीपल यू आर डीलिंग विथ.
Yes, that's it. So yes, it was a great explanation of the perfect answer for a perfect question. So now our next question is like while working on such an important designation, like you're doing and doing various things side by side, prioritizing things become a part of us and a crucial part of us, right? So what will you say about prioritizing things, not just on your level, but on a particular human level, in general level?
नहीं, I very good question. I mean, if I have to say, I think let's start from your side. When you are into engineering and you want to prioritize your things, want to be very successful, something which you are doing right. There are two parts: your own interest, your own hobbies, and your passion. Again, please do not confuse with passion, hobbies and interests. These three things are very different. पैशन इस वर्ड को इतना कॉमनली मत ले लो कि जैसे तुम चने हर रोज चने खाते हो. नो, इट इज नॉट. पैशन इज समथिंग फॉर विच यू कुड डाई फॉर. You could change everything. I had a passion to be in the film industry. I did some kind of a when I came to Mumbai in 2001, I was working in Thane, and every day evening I used to go to some theater because college के time में मैं cultural activity था, ये था, secretary था, GS था and all those things. Not GS exactly, but we wanted to be in our pan. ठीक है, वो छोड़ दो. So I wanted to be. I met few directors and one of the Marathi serial which used to come on Sahyadri channel. मैं उसके लिए assistant direction कर रहा था. I want to be in a National School of Drama. सब ठीक है. वो मुझे लगा मेरा passion है, but I was not dare enough or much enough to leave my thing and go with that. I stick to my job and continue. So that means that was my hobby or interest, not my passion. So what I'm trying to say, so whatever your interest is or hobby is, pursue that in parallel, okay, along with what you want to do for your professional careers, right? Very importantly, if you have early age, and this is not early age to be very frank, but try to do some kind of a meditation thing, understand, learn meditation, how to keep your mind calm, focus the things, right? And one thing which Acharya sir told me about the failure, the challenges, and the depression. In fact, to be very frank and candid with you, ये depression word मेरे सभी बैचमेट में जो भी 2001 के हैं, ये शायद अभी रिसेंटली सुना होगा 8-10 साल पहले. इससे पहले कभी ये वर्ड हमने सुना ही नहीं था. ये डिप्रेशन होता क्या है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. हाँ, फेलियर है, इट्स ओके, फेलियर है, बट हमारे यहाँ पे ना फेलियर को क्राइम बोला जाता है. इफ यू आर फेल्ड, यू आर क्राइम. ये नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. दिस इज नाउ डेज, एटलीस्ट इट इज नॉट. इट इज नॉट, बिलीव मी. So what I'm trying to say, prioritize your things first. How you prioritize? You prioritize for short term, you prioritize for the long term. Long term prioritization would be very different. Would you long time for the 3 years or 4 years or maybe 1 year? Short term would be for 6 months. तो you prioritize. आपको क्या करना है? आपको health build करनी है जिम में जाके, okay, और या आपको कुछ नई चीजें सीखनी है. And this is the right time to learn, boys and friends. ये इतना had अगर मेरे पास टाइम मशीन होता ना, if I go back to this, I would have done so many different things which we wasted 4 years in a way which we would have learned. तो ये सीखो, कुछ बहुत सारी चीजें सीखो, और ऑनलाइन है आपको, you can learn so many things. And as I told you, now technology or subject is not limited what you learn. It is so vast. Psychology is linked to it. Any language is linked to it. If you have the different language, understanding of language, believe me, German, Korean, French, it will help you to lift your position, your salary, your designation, everything in your corporate world, right? So that's what I'm saying. Anything you learn. So you just prioritize anything what you want. It's subjective. मेरी prioritization अलग होंगे आपके, but just don't focus on learning on technical things. There are so many other things. दुनिया इतनी अच्छी है, बाहर घूमो, खेलो, फिरो, learn करो, सीखो कुछ चीजें which would help. I think this is also important. So that's how, with family, with friends, karo. I think this is the best thing. Enjoy the life. I would say enjoy the life rather than making it very limited and very cornered वर ना. चौकोनी लाइफ जगण्यापेक्षा ओपन लाइफ जगा.
Because the reason we asked this question is you are into much things rather than your career. Like the job you are doing various different things, like you are posting videos. Maybe that's the part of your career.
नहीं,
But
I agree. ये सब भी वहीं से आता है ना. See, that is what आपको बोलने की अच्छी आदत है. People like you and everyone, if you want to speak a lot, you want to give the ज्ञानबाजी ना, बरीच लोक फालतू बोलतात म्हणतात ना, अरे यार बडबडायला लागलाच यार, फालतू ज्ञान देतोय. आजकाल त्या ज्ञानाला बरीच व्हॅल्यू आहे बाहेर. You can be a millionaire with that. People come to you to listen that ज्ञान. I mean to say, this is how, if you know something, you can teach people. This is, मला थोडं इतिहासाची आवड होती, मी फिरायचो गड किल्ले, कधी कधी टाइम मिळाला तर तेही करतो. This is, as I said, this is a building block. These 4 years, do something which you have not done before. Learn something which you really want to learn. Even if you are failure, it is not life. It is not something in the profession you are doing. learn and you'll find कि यार ये भी अच्छा है मेरे लिए. I think this is also best. Do that, and then these are things which will help you grow in career. Believe me, this is very important. This is very, very important.
That's what I was about to say. You're doing various things. Like we got to know, we stopped every profile that was possible, like on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram. You're not on Facebook. We can't find you. So we got to know that you have a hobby of traveling and reading as well. So that's the reason we asked this question. So Sakshi,
Yeah.
continue.
Thank you very much, sir, for the thoughts you shared are really useful for the students of GCEK. Now we have one question from a student, so I would like to ask it. While you were doing engineering, technology was improving and everyone was running behind it, and that's the reason we can see the world the way it is. You have worked extensively in IT field. You might be aware about the glimpse of future society. So what do you think with the perspective of future, how students should be prepared?
I would say don't over prepare. I would say, see, there is a future, agree. When you want to say you want to prepare, you cannot prepare for everything. You can prepare for something which you are aware. The technology or IT trend you want to prepare, believe me, in one life, no one is, not even Sundar Pichai, not even Steve Jobs, not even Bill Gates. सबको सब नहीं आता है. ये thought है कि सबको सब आता है, नहीं. But what you should be knowing, as I said, कि आपको basic understanding होनी चाहिए ये क्या हो रहा है. उसमें से एक दो चीज you pick it, learn it, understand it, and cultivate it or master of it. And when you may face some different things and technology, what is very important, your analytical skill, logical skill, learning skill, your risk-taking ability, right? How you approach those things, psychological things. So those are very important. So there is no standard answer. If what you should be learning, you should be learning, knowing everything, but you should not learn everything. Otherwise you will get overwhelmed. तो तुम इतने कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे कुछ टाइम के बाद कि मैं क्या करूं, इसमें से इतना कुछ करना है, ये भी सीखना है, वो भी सीखना है, वो भी सीखना है. ये नहीं होता कि इंजीनियरिंग में नॉर्मली, आई डोंट नो आप करते हो कि नहीं, हमारे एक नाइट पहले या 2 नाइट पहले पढ़ाई शुरू होती थी. हम लोग भागते थे कि सिलेबस ढूंढो कहाँ पे है, राइट. तो इसमें से कौन सा ऑप्शनल पे रखा जाए, ये अब मुझे बोलोगे एक नाइट में सब कुछ करो, तो फिर मैं बोलता था यार इम्पॉसिबल है, नहीं होगा, तो मैं ऑप्शनल ढूंढ. तो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से कि ऐसा नहीं होता है. यू कैन नॉट डू एवरीथिंग एंड एवरीवेयर. Make it very, see, break it in small pieces. Anything you do, right, even it is a bigger one, very big one, break it in small pieces, achieve that and go to the next one. Break it, achieve that, go to the next. Break it in steps and make it. Otherwise आप क्या बोलोगे कि ये impossible है, ये impossible नहीं होता है. It is like I'm possible, but how? When you break it, make it and go it. नहीं तो एक साथ नहीं हो सकता. Was that, did it answer your question, or is it something you different you wanted, or you are expecting something more? Sakshi?
No, sir. It's
Barabar? Okay, good. Okay.
Now we'll move to the faculty interaction because we are limited from time. But before it, one last question. We every person is known because of its thoughts or its ideology. So what you what a student should extract from this interview? That's the last question.
No, as I said, see, what you extract, everyone has their own perception of extraction, right? It is like the story, like Dronacharya had asked to Arjuna and Pandavas or Kauravas, what you see there? Someone saw the tree, someone saw some fruit, someone saw some bird, someone saw something different, but what Arjuna saw was the eye of the parrot, right? He said, yeah, I just focusing there, I want to hit that. That's what you can take it. What you see is your perspective, what you really want. आपको बाजार में जाओगे तो सब कुछ मिलेगा, but with a diamond, you can understand with this diamond, or a piece of maybe kind of just a small thing, or mirror, right? It is up to. But what I request you, if I would say, and it's humble request again, please do not idolize anyone for the sake of idolizing, right? Idols या किसी को respect करना या follow करना है बहुत बड़ी चीज है. Simply don't follow anyone just by watching videos. It doesn't mean that they are there like that. Okay. Again, whatever they have achieved, please understand, it is because of multiple failures. Multiple failures. कोई भी हिंदी फिल्म के हीरो की तरह एक दिन में सब कुछ नहीं कर सकता, वो नहीं होता है. अभी मूवीज भी चेंज हुई है. आई थिंक एवरीवन शोज द रियलिटी. कभी नहीं होता. नेवर हैपेंस इन लाइफ, नॉट इन प्रोफेशनल लाइफ. नेवर. You fail, you learn. You fail, you learn, you do something better and top up. So that is, try to take the risk, try doing something new. Even if you fail it, okay, learn something new, go ahead and do it. That's what I can say. And don't focus too much about doing everything. As I said, prioritize your thing. You're part of life, you're part of family, you're part of yourself, you're part of technology. Learn everything and do it. Decide what you want to do. Make a goal and do it. Don't change the goal. If you have a goal, don't change it. Very important. ना क्या होता है, हमारा goal होता है and you want to reach somewhere. You want to reach from Karad to Pune. Now you have a goal to reach the Pune. You went to bus stand and you find कि बस ही नहीं है यार, अभी क्या करें? Okay, you waited, आई नहीं बस. Okay, Satara की आई. You reach there. You went to Satara. From Satara you can take a Pune. But it doesn't कि अभी Satara की नहीं आई, Pune जाना है, पर you go somewhere else which is not on the path of Pune, right? Don't change the destination. That is a goal. Keep the goal same. But if you fail because of one way of approaching towards goal, change the way you approach. Have a different approach, but to the same goal. Don't change the goal. नहीं तो वो हर साल एक नया गोल, अरे कभी नहीं कर पाओगे फिर, forget it. Change the approach. I think you will reach there. That's what I'm doing. I will take few things if with your permission, maybe Sakshi, Samarth, and Vishal and Shubham. जो दो तीन चीजें आचार्य सर ने मुझे बोली थी कि how to prepare for opportunity in industry and बाजारात बऱ्याच फसव्या opportunity. I don't know who if you are doing guys. जर तुम्हाला कोणीही सांगत असेल outside market you will get a job, and it happened with us also, believe me, it is not that you only get those kind of calls, phishing calls and all those things. You get a job, and there are companies who prepare हुबेहूब ऑफर लेटर करतात, पूर्ण इंटरव्ह्यू प्रोसेस जशीच्या तशी कंडक्ट करतात. तुम्हाला सांगतात की कॉल आलेला आहे, HR तुम्हाला कॉल केले, कोणीतरी त्यांचाच माणूस कॉल करतो, तुमचा इंटरव्ह्यू घेतला जातो, 2 राउंड होतात, सगळं होतं, तुम्हाला ऑफर लेटर दिली जाते. पण कुठे ते चुकतात माहिती का? दे आस्क ॲट द बिगिनिंग ऑर द एंड मनी, पैसे. जर कोणी पैसे मागत असेल, पहिली गोष्ट पैसे मागत असेल तर तो फ्रॉड कॉल आहे. डिस्कनेक्ट इट. डू नॉट गेट इंडल्ज इनटू दैट. None of the companies, big companies, get into ask you any of the money. Believe me, not even bond before you join, not even post-dated check, no one. तर असं असेल तर first thing, disconnect it. It is not for you. Don't get into trap. Please. Best thing, don't answer to them. Say, do one thing, just drop me an email, all your points which you are saying. मी ईमेल बघतो, वाचतो, समजतो आणि मी जातो. कारण माझी कुठली कंपनी आहे, ही आहे का, ठीक आहे, त्या कंपनीत माझ्या ओळखीचे आहेत. Just tell them, don't do it. Okay, don't do it. So when you pass out, maybe you post it on Naukri. Few people who don't get job campus through, ते नोकरी टाकतील आणि नोकरी थ्रू आम्ही कॉल करतोय पण ते पैसे मागत असतील. कधीच नाही, कधीच नाही. Very importantly, check their email addresses and website. Very similar. नोकरीचं स्पेलिंग काहीतरी वेगळं असेल, नोकरीचं NOK असेल, NOU असेल, काय असेल ते चेक करा. This is something very different. So, but don't pay it. Second thing, what would be the, how to prepare for the opportunities in IT industry? As I say, it is very simple. What you are doing, continue doing it through campus, you will learn it. And when you go to the market, if you buy, unfortunately, we don't get a job in campus interviews. You put it in Naukri.com and you go in placement and different interviews. You will come to know the pattern, what they are asking, right? And you see if you are failing, why you are failing. काय तू पॅटर्न आहे की ज्याच्यामुळे फेल होतो, की पहिल्या ह्याच्यात मी का फेल झालो, दुसऱ्या ह्याच्यात का फेल. ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड अँड डिस्कस इट विथ युअर फ्रेंड्स ओपनली. Don't hide it. That's all it. And what was that? Packages, right? I think it is very, very great की तुम्हाला 25 लाखाचं कोणाला तरी पॅकेज मिळालं, कोणाला 7-8 लाखाचं मिळालं. But you cannot compare with someone with yourself, right? The comparisons are different. Don't do that comparison. It is very unlikely you are comparing. See, there are examples in my friends who started with far, far, far less than what that time person started. But now he's earning far, far, far more than the person who was earning long. So it is again, the time you grow and mature, you learn. What opportunity you would learn from that industry. See, it is not only the top companies, Accenture, Capgemini, or big companies. When you get job, they are good, very good. Possibly if you get a job in there, perfectly okay. Just a moment. But same time, if you have good companies and opportunities where you can learn at initial stages, please take that job. Not just because you are getting great money and you are running behind some companies, but you are learning something great in there. Please take that job. Learning in initial years is the key to success. As I said, it is a foundation. Over the time, it will be very different. What was other? Patience. Yeah. Very important. Huh? Very important. Patience. Friends, patience indeed is important. Don't be hurry. Do more patient. If you hurry, तुम्ही जर प्रत्येक गोष्टीला करायला लागला की I want to make it quick, there is no quick. There is no quick. Whatever is quick will not long last. It is kind of a China made. ते थोड्या दिवसासाठी होईल आणि नंतर जाईल. Don't be quick. Have a patience. Be consistent in your determination and effort. Have a patience, but very important. Otherwise, there is nothing you can do it. Maybe you not get a job in month, 6 months, 8 months. There is a story of bamboo story, right? बांबूचं झाड कोणी बघितलंय का की कधी किती दिवसात ते वाढतं, किती दिवसात ते बाहेर येतं when you start watering it? कोणाला माहितीये?
It takes year to just be a small आणि एकदा ते वाढलं की मग वाढत जातं.
परफेक्ट. सेम आहे. एक वर्ष घेतं ते फक्त अंकुर जमिनीतनं बाहेर यायला, पण एकदा बाहेर आलं की त्याची जी वाढ आहे ती जोरात होती. म्हणजे तुमचं जे पूर्ण चाललंय ना, दॅट इज दॅट ग्रोथ, तुमचा अंकुर. पण जेव्हा तुम्हाला अपॉर्च्युनिटी मिळेल, बिलीव्ह इन युअर सेल्फ, दॅट्स व्हॉट आय एम सेइंग. अँड वेन यू डोंट बिलीव्ह इन युअर सेल्फ, अ सिम्पल थिंग, जस्ट क्लोज युअर आयज. आता तुम्ही जिथे पोहोचलायत त्याच्यासाठी तुम्ही किती गोष्टी सक्सेसफुली केल्यात आयुष्यात, किती गोष्टी तुम्ही अचीव्ह केल्यात, त्या फक्त इमॅजिन करा आणि ते आठवा. यू आर नॉट अ फेल्युअर गाईज. कारण ते जर नसतं केलं तर तुम्ही ते पोहोचलाच नसता. सिम्पल आहे. यू हॅव डन सो फार. इट इज नॉट बिग यार. सो दॅट्स व्हॉट आय एम सेइंग. बिलीव्ह इन दॅट. Not IT only, product company, there is no such thing. I think someone was asking it. Any company you get, learn it. Learning is the best thing. You go mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering. जर तुम्हाला IT आवडत असेल, you can go IT. If you don't like IT, माझे कित्येक इलेक्ट्रिकल मधले मित्र, they are into finance now. बँकेत काम करतायत आफ्टर BE. Can you imagine? बँकेत. तुम्ही म्हणाल यार तू मग कशाला केलं इंजिनिअरिंग, बीकॉम करायचं होतं ना. इट्स नॉट लाईक दॅट. सो दॅट्स नॉट दॅट. तुम्हाला जे आवडेल ना, यू वॉन्ट टू बी इन मेकॅनिकल इंडस्ट्री, यू वॉन्ट टू मेक अ करिअर इन मेकॅनिकल, इट इज अ ग्रेट इंडस्ट्री. सॅलरी वाईज आय टेल यू, इफ यू आर आस्किंग मी, हो सर ठीक आहे पण सॅलरी, अरे भाई सॅलरी एका लेवल नंतर मेकॅनिकलची पण तेवढीच जेवढी आयटीची. डोंट वरी. So don't worry about that. There are so many mechanical engineers who are working in IT as a domain experts. There are so many finance CAs working in CFO and also in IT for controllers or accountants and accounting and leading or heading those departments in IT. So end of the day, after certain experience, everything comes to the same level. So don't worry about it. So don't think अभी अरे ह्याला 12 लाख मिळतायत, मला 5 लाख मिळतायत. अरे ठीक आहे, इट इज हिज विश, हिज लक, त्याचे पूर्वीचे कर्म असतील काय असतील. पण आता डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, यू विल ऑल्सो गेट इट यार. जस्ट कंटिन्यू इट. आणि तू त्यासाठीच रडत राहिला, कोणी जर जो कोणी असेल, मग त्यात जे मिळते तेही जाईल आणि जे मिळणार आहे तेही नाही मिळणार. तो सिंपल थिंग. Fraud we spoke, how to select, good to know your worth. Yeah. Again, how you demand yourself, right? जेव्हा तुम्ही आता जेव्हा इनिशियली असाल, definitely you go with a package which company offers. But when you get some experience, know your value, know your worth. What worth you have carrying yourself. तुमची value काय आहे? Do not go to a value level. Everyone wants to do that. Believe me, at some stage, this will be a machi market. After 2 years, people will come and negotiate. Ki, Are, you are earning 8 lakh. Is it okay? I give 10 lakh. My worth is 12. Then I will stick to 12. Understand your value. Very important. If you don't understand, then don't cry and creep ki, अरे ह्याला जास्ती सॅलरी मिळाली मला कमी, कारण त्याने मागितली, तू नाही मागितली. तू त्याने जे सांगितलं ते ऍक्सेप्ट केलं आणि मग तू गेला. डोंट क्राय यार. देन व्हाय यू आर क्राइंग? यू ऍक्सेप्टेड इट. Did you know your value? Did you know what worth you have carrying yourself? If you know, अरे यार माझी एवढीच व्हॅल्यू, you ask that. ठीक आहे, don't cry. So that's what is very important. How to choose companies? Simply what at this moment, you know, the big companies, if you get it best. If any company which is offering you, which you have not heard about it, please Google it. There's so many Glassdoor and so many things are there, right? Who can give you the review about the companies. Google it, find it, how old is it? Who are the people managing it? Okay. Very important, because end of the day, it is a small company or medium-sized company. That is the people who are managing it are important. नाहीतर त्या company 5 महिन्यांनी स्वाहा कुठे गेली माहित नाही. The people who are managing, whom you are working with, who is your manager? Interview देताना you ask this question, very basic. Whom I would be working? Are you my manager? Will I be working with you? Then what are his values? जर त्याची व्हॅल्यू असेल तुकापट्टी लावायची आणि पॅचअप वर्क करायचं, तर तो तुम्हाला तो शिकवेल की बाबा काय नसतं यार, देर इज नो हार्ड वर्क, हे इकडचं घेन तिकडे जोड, काम झालं. अरे दिस इज नॉट, आय डोंट वॉन्ट टू लर्न. अंडरस्टँड दोज थिंग्स आर व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. अदरवाइज ऑन लॉंग टर्म यू विल ऑल्सो लर्न these same things. There is no value to that. So this is how to choose company is not in IT, how to select company, fraud, know your worth, how to prepare opportunity. Preparation we spoke. Be truthful, be honest, what you know, and what is the answer. Give it from heart. Don't make a stories. Don't give excuses. No one is there excuses. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. मला टाइम नव्हता. अरे काय टाइम नव्हता यार, ह्याला होता आणि तुला का नव्हता? सूर्य तेव्हाच उगवला जेव्हा तुला दिसला, त्याला पण तेव्हाच दिसला ना, मग तुला का टाइम नव्हता? सिंपल आहे. रडारडी करू नका, माझ्या घरात हे आजारी पडले, माझ्या घरात ते आजारी. ठीक आहे, नॉनसेन्स. नो वन वॉन्ट्स प्रोफेशनली ना, नो वन वॉन्ट टू नो दोज थिंग्स. बिलीव्ह मी. मित्रात वगैरे ठीक आहे, पण प्रोफेशनली नो वन केअर. No one care. Good. Anything else?
That's it. Yes, sir. It was a great explanation, and you answered all questions very honestly and the way we expected it, and it was an insightful session. Now we'll move towards the faculty interaction. Whatever the faculty has to say with this. Sakshi, would you continue?
Yes, I would like to invite Dr. Kumarwad sir to share their experience.
There are some questions. I think if you want to take it, I'm okay. Otherwise, if you're not, I'm perfectly okay. Anyways, just maybe send me an email. Maybe we can take it, or if you want to connect me over LinkedIn, please connect. I accept all the invites. No issues. I think Sakshi, तू कनेक्ट केलंयस राईट? मला काल बघितलं साक्षी की कोणीतरी.
Yes, sir.
मी accept करेन. And if you have any questions in there, you just drop me a message and we can talk. Yeah. Good.
Sir, are you there?
Marwad, sir.
Okay, Sakshi, we'll move towards the vote of thanks now. I think sir is not audible right now. Yes, we can move forward.
Over to you.
Thank you, sir. So that's all from our side, from Sakshi and me. And it was a great session. You answered all questions very honestly and insightfully. We got insight about trends in IT and also about your life, and all the points you mentioned, like know your worth, patience, self-belief, honesty. All the points were worth listening. Now we'll move towards our vote of thanks. So I would like to call Payal Kadam again to present the
Yeah.
vote of thanks.
Yeah, before that, maybe Paila, as I told you, watch some documentaries and something. Watch the Sundar Pichai's interview, which he gave in the IIT Madras, Chennai. That time was Madras, I believe. Also, watch one uh, speech which Steve Jobs gave in 2005 in Stanford to the people. I don't know whether you must have watched it. It is on YouTube. Watch the whole video, Connecting Dots. And it is called Connecting Dots. And the people who has questions about fear, failure, and all those things, you will get an answer like this. The failure is not only for the common people; it is for even successful people also. And how they overcome that failure means compared to that, what we fail is nothing. Nothing. We are not losing. What we are losing in that failure would be like we can gain it more, right? Another thing, very importantly, in Sundar Pichai's interview, which I told you was the Steve Jobs, but Sundar Pichai also had an interview in 2005 with, I think, Harsha Bogre took that interview. What failure? The failure you have to take as a badge of honor, right? Because you took a risk to get fail. And in Silicon Valley, in US, I tell you, and he only told in that interview, I think somewhere, Sundar Pichai, that if he got a two option to select a candidate for a Google, right? And one has a success in whole his life in profile, he has a success all his life's beginning till today, and someone has a failure as a startup, as something doing new, taking a risk, he would select the person who failed in the life, not the person who succeeded whole his life. Believe me, it is a big say. It is a big say. Try to understand why is that. Why is that? This is because person who had a failure in his life would know how to come again and be successful, how to come up from that moment, how to learn new things and to go for a success. But person who never seen a failure in his life, once he become failure, he will get destroyed. Possible. So it is very important. Don't be afraid to fail. When you are fail, celebrate. Why not celebrate? And again, try to reach what you want. Right? Very important. Very important.
Yes, it's a famous dialogue that failure has nothing to do, but we can experience. Experience has its own worth, its own value.
Yeah. Right. Very much. Very much.
Yes. So, Payal,
So, sir, we definitely watched the videos that you suggested. Also, you, sir, again. Then, on behalf of Team Syncing.GCEK, first I would like to thank you, sir, for giving us time from your busy schedule. Amazing experience that you share with us. Then I'm sure that the point you explain will definitely help us as a future perspective. And secondly, I would like to thank you, our principal, sir, Dr. A.T. Sir, for providing us opportunity to arrange such beautiful event. Thank you to our TPO head, Dr. Anil sir, and all other faculties for guiding us their continuous efforts. Then I'm to our students to make this session grand success. Attend this session in huge quantity. Then, last but not least, I would like to thank you, Team Syncing.GCEK, for arranging such amazing session and a great session, sir. One thing that makes sure that you will follow our social media handles of Syncing.GCEK so that you can get updated with the updates.
Sure. I will do that. Yeah. Yeah. Again.
Now, here I declare that the session is over.
Thank you. Thanks a lot again, everyone, all participants and PCA sir, Acharya sir, Kumar Bhatt sir, and Vishal, Shubham, whole TPO team, Samarth, Payal, and Sakshi. Thanks a lot. It was a great session. Thanks. Even it was a learning for me also. Because of you, I could again went back and tried some digging and all those things. Great one. Thanks a lot. I appreciate.
Yes,
Bye.